Is Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell on the hot seat? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Duo Collectibles YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our daily NFL content. Also, please bookmark all of our shows on TikTok and whatnot, where we do weekly live sports cards auctions. Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell is absolutely on the hot seat when he heads into the 2026 season. I don't think he's in danger of losing his job, but the hot seat is to find a starting quarterback. You pass on Sam Darnold, you pass on Daniel Jones, you pass on Aaron Rodgers, all for J.J. McCarthy, and it's gone about as bad as you could possibly hope. You know, J.J.'s only played 6 games this year. He missed his entire first season with an injury. He's missed multiple games this year with multiple different injuries, and his development just looks like it's way behind. So, Kevin O'Connell will be entering his 5th season as the Vikings head coach next year. They've made the playoffs twice and had 2 first-round exits, and now everyone's questioning, can he develop a young quarterback? So far, the answer is no. J.J. McCarthy has been very bad. You get guys like Justin Jefferson who are leaders on that team. Their body language on the sideline is not good. I don't know how you could go into 2026 with J.J. McCarthy alone as your projected starter. They have to find somebody, and they have to find somebody fast, or I think Kevin O'Connell will be looking for a new job in 2027. It's going to be tough for the Vikings to revamp their roster in 2026 as well, because currently they're about $50 million over the cap in 2026, and they're only rolling over about $15 million into 2026. So basically, they're going to be looking at having to clear at least $35 to $40 million in cap space. I think it's going to be a pretty big shakeup with a lot of these veteran players. You look at guys like TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones, who have larger deals, who are getting older. Center Ryan Kelly, who they just signed, has had a lot of concussion problems and is injured again. He's a guy you may look to move on from. The interior guys that they signed this offseason on the defensive line really haven't worked out. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, they signed them in their 30s to pretty big deals. Neither one of them has been great, and you may look to get out from under those type of contracts. Andrew Van Ginkel has just got an extension, so he'll probably stick around, but that could be somebody you look to move off of in his 30s as well. Harrison Smith will probably retire. He came into this year kind of not sure if he was going to play or not. He's had a hell of a career. He's a Hall of Famer in my book, but definitely another guy they'll be moving on from. So my point is that there's going to be big changes coming in Minnesota this year, and they're not really going to have the money to add a lot of pieces. And one of the reasons they're kind of in this predicament is the fact that their GM, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, has not had a great track record when it comes to the draft. Let's face it, he's missed on a lot of picks. Even some of their picks that they've had this year really haven't played that well. The first rounder, Donovan Jackson, has been a pretty good player at guard, but other than that, you don't really get much from the draft. And even a guy like Jordan Addison, you took him in the first round a couple of years ago. He's been a good player, but he's had multiple off the field issues. And it seemed like he had another issue when they were over in Ireland this year, missing a team walkthrough as well. So, he's in his 3rd year, and it seems like as a first rounder, he really hasn't gotten it together and made it worth that pick either. So missing on all those picks, there's really not many players in line behind a lot of these veterans that will be getting cleared out because of the cap issues. So it's looking like Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah is fighting for his job right now, and I wouldn't doubt if they move on from him this offseason. And basically they need to find somebody who can run a draft and bring in players that can at least be contributors. They don't have to be all pro starters, but you can't just have this many misses and expect to cover it up by signing players in free agency. They tried that last offseason. They spent the second most money in free agency, and most of the players they signed really haven't done much for them. And now they're kind of in cap jail. They're going to have to move a lot of money around, and they'll make it work, but it's not going to be an off season where they can just go out and add a bunch of players. They really need to nail this draft. And again, they need to bring in a quarterback to compete with JJ McCarthy, because the veterans that do stick around on this team in 2026 can't be having much confidence in JJ McCarthy. And if Kevin O'Connell brings JJ McCarthy back as his starter week 1 and things do not improve, all of a sudden Kevin O'Connell's job is going to be on the line. So you best believe they're going to bring in somebody. Maybe they trade a pick to San Francisco for Mac Jones. Maybe they do bring Aaron Rodgers in. I know he wanted to join the team last year. I like a guy like Davis Mills out in Houston. I think you could probably get him for a late day 2 or maybe a day 3 pick. Big, mobile, athletic enough, good arm. He went to Stanford. He's a smart guy. I could see Kevin O'Connell really liking a guy like Davis Mills. And the thing is, he has starting experience. You're not bringing in a quarterback who has, 2 career starts or no career starts. Davis Mills started for 2 years. It wasn't the best 2 seasons, but this was before DeMeco Ryans got there. Houston was a bottom of the barrel team, and Davis Mills played the 2 seasons. He played okay. And I think that's another name to explore that might be a cheaper option than trading for Mac Jones. But either way, massive changes coming in Minnesota. Massively disappointing season for them this year after a 13-win season last year with Sam Darnold. It's got to be tough if you're a Vikings fan to watch the Seahawks have so much success, and even Indianapolis have a bunch of success with Daniel Jones and even Aaron Rodgers. I know Pittsburgh's struggling recently, but he definitely has something left in the tank. He hasn't been as bad as he was with the Jets. The Achilles obviously is much healthier now. So I think he's a guy that, you could pull the cord in case of emergency. He's definitely somebody who can get the ball to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I don't know. I don't have all the answers for Vikings fans, but one thing I can guarantee you is massive, massive changes are coming to Minnesota in 2026.